So, it's been a week now since we saw the Doom Eternal new gameplay, but there's still quite a few things that I think is worth mentioning about. And the first one is the inclusion of the Prowler. It was kind of hard to see the Prowler in this gameplay because he's there for literally 1 or maybe 2 seconds on the screen before he is slaughtered. And of course the footage is not very good, the quality is bad and it's kind of hard to tell which enemies are what really. But eagle-eye viewers were able to see that this is indeed a Prowler from Doom 2016. Now of course the Prowler in Doom 2016 was a multiplayer exclusive enemy, not appearing in the Snap map or the campaign, only as a playable demon for Doom multiplayer. Now the Prowler had one of the least amount of health out of the Doom multiplayer enemies, but that did not mean he was one of the weakest. He was fast and deadly, able to latch onto different walls, ceilings and other things in the environment, and he was able to leap or pounce off of these platforms from very far away and onto the player or any other multiplayer player and insta kill them. If not, they are pretty quick at running and pouncing and scratching on the player anyway, so they were quick and deadly. So if you knew how to use a Prowler, you could really get some good kills with them in multiplayer. Now the challenge of moving them from multiplayer to the campaign is obviously these attacks have got to work well with A, other demons, and B, in a normal campaign situation. So this time they won't be able to insta kill the player every time, so their leap attack will be a little bit different, I should imagine, because that one used to grab the player instantly and I believe it used to crush their skull in or something like that. I never really used to use the Prowler myself, but I think that's what they used to do. So yeah, they've got to somehow add this or change this in the campaign to work well with the other demons and of course killing the player. Personally, I think they're going to do well because they're going to have different advantages over other enemies. Like the Mancubus, he can only he's very slow at walking and he shoots a few projectiles and he has his flamethrower attacks. Now the Prowler is going to be able to use a lot more of the environment over the Mancubus. He's going to be able to latch onto different walls, maybe the poles that we see Doom Guy using with the shotgun bayonet. I reckon he's going to be something very similar to what Doom Guy is going to be able to do. So it's going to be similar attacks where once again he's able to jump onto these different platforms and leap off them and attack Doom Guy. Of course they might simplify him a bit and make him just charge at the player and try to scratch him like they could do as a melee attack in the multiplayer. But personally I think it would be a missed opportunity if they actually avoided using the advantages of the Prowler, at least the way he attacks in multiplayer. So if I had to guess, I would expect him to attack, like I said, similar to what Doom Guy does, where he's able to jump far distances, use the environment like walls, ceilings, the poles or whatever we don't know about yet as an advantage to attack Doom Guy. Prowlers I reckon would be one of the deadlier enemies. Despite having low health, if they act anything like they do in the multiplayer campaign, they would be pretty deadly because they're going to be quick and powerful. So yeah, very deadly. Anyway, moving on. So the Prowler is not the only monster in Doom's multiplayer which was exclusive, because there also is the Harvester. Now in my opinion the Harvester is a much more deadly enemy because of the way they attack. They're quick as well, but they have a lightning based attack at first, but after they've killed enough people or built up enough energy they can shoot almost a BFG like projectile, killing multiple enemies at once. Now that is going to be pretty powerful, and of course I think that's something that we could see in a campaign as well, maybe a Harvester. Now I think they would attack pretty similar to what they would do in the multiplayer, so they're going to have some sort of electrical attack at first, and the longer they're alive the powerful their attack gets, if that makes sense. So if they somehow manage to, I don't know, build up enough electricity, they can shoot a one very powerful projectile that can probably insta kill the player on the hardest difficulty but do high damage to the Doomslayer on any other difficulty. So yeah, it'd be a bit silly, at least for me, if they include the Prowler without the Harvester. I mean, I guess the Prowler definitely works well on showing off the new gameplay style in Doom Eternal. The Harvester is just going to be like, I guess you can say, a bit more variety for the enemies because they have a more unique attack. But of course I like the Harvester. I think they're a pretty cool enemy to have in the multiplayer campaign. probably the second most deadly, at least for me, when in multiplayer, just underneath the Pinky Demon or the Spectre. So yeah, they could definitely be one of the later enemies you would see in the game as one of the more powerful or more rare, I don't know. Of course, they may just decide to have only the Prowler and focus on new enemies in Doom Eternal. But I got a feeling that we're going to see the Harvester in the new campaign as well. We just haven't really seen much gameplay. So yeah, that's what I think. I feel like the Prowler's a good addition, and of course the Harvester hopefully will be added. So anyway, what do you think of the Prowler being in Doom Eternal? Do you think it's a good choice? Do you think it adds more variety? Or do you think their gameplay is going to add a lot more to Doom Eternal? Of course, we've not seen much of their gameplay yet, so we don't know exactly how they will play into this, but if they do play something like they did in the campaign, or in multiplayer I should say, then we're definitely going to see something different with this enemy. And of course, what about the Harvesters? Do you think we're going to see them in the game? Do you think they should avoid adding both of them and stick to new monsters? So let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.